Hey guys, what's up? Bisectatron here from OneHive Gazette, here with my next video, and unfortunately, I think the replays got wiped clean pretty recently, and anyway, I'm in another clan, the OneHive scrimmage clan, whatever you want to call it, just to do kind of an inter-family scrimmage, so I don't have access to a bunch of replays, which is why I decided to do yet another kind of base building tips video, and in this one I'm talking about how to try to sync up as much time as you can, try to make your base take as long as you can for it to be 3-starred, because with the 30 seconds taken away from the attacker, it's going to be a bit more of a time crunch, and base building is definitely going to be more important, especially at Town Hall 9, because you have a very good chance of defending the first attack if you build your base correctly, because if nothing else, they can run out of time, just because 3 minutes isn't a whole lot of time, especially with some of the new HP buffs. So there's just more in a base, so it's going to be difficult to 3-star on a fresh hit if you can build your base correctly. So anyway, a few tips that I use and that I think are pretty beneficial to making your base take up time to 3-star. So anyway, one thing is kind of the obvious stuff in the corner. One thing that people don't really do, but I think might as well, is the corner builder's hut. Originally this was kind of frowned upon because it was used as an anchor to lure out CC troops, but at this point in the game, lures aren't that big of a thing. With a poison spell, people aren't luring out the CC and bringing it to the corner, so it doesn't matter if you have that there. It's good because sometimes people miss it while they're scouting, they overlook it, and it can really come back to bite them at the end if everything's been taken out except that builder's hut in the corner. If they do plan for it, they'll drop like an archer there, but it's worth a shot putting it there, and it doesn't hurt. It does not hurt to put it there. And if they do use it as an anchor, they're wasting time anyway by luring out the CC troops. So it's a win-win for you. I would recommend doing it. Another thing that some people in the clan should do, but not everyone obviously, is a troll Tesla. I put mine in my other corner when I use one. Don't always use one. This is an old base, by the way. But anyway, the troll Tesla is kind of just a builder's hut in the corner, except it's a Tesla. And it also works very well because the difference is it makes hogs or balloons have to move over and get it taken out. So it's going to take them a while to run over and get to it. Usually people want their hogs for cleanup, but if the hogs end somewhere up by this cannon, they have to run across the entire base to get there. So they're not going to help with cleanup. And if all the guy has left is hogs and a few wizards, he'll probably run out of time just because the hogs aren't going to be doing anything for a while. Some people in extreme cases put like double bombs right here, but that's just way too easy for the second attack. So I would just recommend a Tesla. It depends if you want to do it or not. A lot of people don't, some people do, but it definitely screws up the first attack. And at Town Hall 9, if you can, make sure you're not 3-starred in the first attack, that's always a bonus. And if you can soak up a second attack, that's even better. So the goal is almost always to defend against at least one attack at Town Hall 9. So this is a great way to try to make sure you mess up the first attacker at least. The second one will probably drop a balloon here, but no big deal. That's just kind of the trade-off. Anyway, though, this base is from the last family scrimmage. It's designed pretty much exclusively against anti-air attacks, so I wouldn't recommend using it. It's not very good against ground. I just use it as an example because it has some of these features in it. Besides the corner stuff, another thing is a hound in the CC. This is a great time sink, especially for a queen walk. If they try to lure out the CC and have their queen deal with it, that hound's going to be stuck on the queen for quite a while, especially if they have a lower level queen or they don't use a rage. If you're the attacker, I would always drop a wizard if you can, if you have the space to help the queen take out the hound a little bit quicker. But a lot of times people won't do that and they'll just have to wait for their hound to beat through it. Might be a little bit less common for people to use the queen to take out the CC troops just because of the new time issue with it being down to 3 minutes. But if someone tries it, the hound's going to take up a bunch of time. And even if the queen comes into the base with the rest of the kill squad, it's still going to take a while for the queen to get through that hound. And meanwhile, everything else will be moving forward, but she won't be helping out. So it works out there too. If they decide to try to lure it out, well, first of all, I'd make your CC not lureable like this one. They can't just drop a hog and get it lured out. Make sure there's defenses outside the range of this on all sides. But if they do lure it out somehow, it's still going to take up time to bring the archers into the corner, drop the healer on them, and use the healer archer trick on the hound. That still takes quite a while, so no big deal if they do that, but make it difficult to lure out the CC if you're going to have a hound at least. Okay, so another thing is putting HP kind of by the queen. So at Town Hall 9, obviously the queen's going to be offset in pretty much all bases. And this just makes it harder because a lot of times people with a queen walk or with their kill squad will try to come directly for your queen. And if you can put some HP there, it's going to take them a while to create the funnel or whatever and to actually get to your queen. So that way they're probably going to have to come across the other part of the base to get to your queen. And that's going to take up a lot of time because it'll be a big kill squad and it'll make it harder to do it all in time because most of the time will be spent sending a kill squad at your queen and less time can be invested, starting the actual defense targeting attack and doing cleanup, all that stuff. So put HP by your queen, defending her from the side that she's exposed to. So another thing is 2 double giant bomb sets. And this one might not be as obvious, but the thing with 2 double giant bomb sets is if they're placed in a good way, it makes it so that most of the time people are going to have to diffuse them before they send their hogs in, which takes up time to have 2 separate operations if you place them right to get these double giant bomb sets negated. People can use sacrificial hogs, that does work, but it's another thing that gets complicated with planning, makes it a little bit harder for them, and in general, it makes it harder when you have 2 double giant bomb sets. People can't just kind of spam hogs through one area of your base, which will obviously go quicker than trying to diffuse these and do more surgical hogs. So the more areas you can make unfriendly to hogs, the better, because I've talked about this before, the hog lane, the less hog lanes you have, the longer the attack will take because they have to invest more into a kill squad and their hogs will be more surgical and kind of spread out on defenses, which is typically a more time-consuming attack. So 2 double giant bomb spots, not always, but I would recommend it going forward. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but it's a good thing to do, I think, in my opinion, and I think you might see some success. People having trouble trying to get these taken out if they're using hogs and trying to do that in 3 minutes. So that's basically it. Once again, I wouldn't recommend copying this base. I know you guys tend to like to try out the bases or some of the designs you see on my channel, but this one is pretty weak against hogs. It was designed entirely for air because if you guys remember from the OneHive scrimmage I was in, one side could only use air, and that was the other team. So I was just making this exclusively anti-air. So if you want to, take this base and change some things, go ahead. But I think it might get 3 stars somewhat easily by a good ground attack. Anyway, though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, don't have any attacks to show you guys. So just doing what I can with the base builds. They're always a fun series or a fun type of video to make, and I think they help people. So drop a like if you like the video, and comment telling me what you guys think if you want more of these videos when I don't have attacks to show. So thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have another OneHive family scrimmage going on right now, like I said earlier in the video. So I'm not sure how much of that I can show just because people are working on their bases and stuff. But when I can show, I will. And yeah, stay tuned for that stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bisectatron out.